of them up.
Hey everybody, welcome back to the Spin Rack. I'm here with my boys, PD and Cal. Say what's up, gents.
What's going on?
Hey, ready, rock.
Hey, we're talking about the new Absolute comic that's going to be dropping soon. Flash #1. Is it going to be a hit like the others? What is your take on it? We have a first look on some of the images here. So, Cal, what's your take?
He loves it.
PD,
No, I'm
let's
not.
show some of the images.
It just doesn't look. You showed
Looks
me the
really,
cover. You showed me the cover, and then you start showing him the images. What's up? I gotta make a determination on the cover. If I make a determination on the cover, I'm not interested.
Okay, so you don't like the cover. We're gonna keep going. You just commented on that. All right. So then we go to the next one.
I'm still not interested. I don't care.
Okay, so didn't change your mind after that.
yeah. I love the color personally. I think the art and the colors. What is it? Nick Robles and the color artist, they've done a pretty good job. I don't know the story enough of the story yet because we want to look into it once it starts. But I think Jeff Lemire is the writer. It looks like something that's pretty interesting to look at. I love the way the colors are exploring. I think this is going to definitely be a new iconic cover for Flash. Um, what about you, PD?
Oh no, it looks. This looks good. I mean, this. I mean, it's kind of off on the Batman stuff, even though there's parts that look kind of alright. But this looks decent. Art looks. Not sure what's going on yet. Kind of feels like me and a friend of mine were trying to do a speedster, but yeah, I mean it's interesting art. They got a lot of inkers. Oh, variant covers. Those are the variant covers art. Okay. So yeah, so it looks interesting, and they're going for the young. Looks like more. Yeah, Wally West as the Flash again. And what else can I say about this? It's just interesting because this was, to fandom was the end of DC. Now it's like DC's second coming. Batman is selling all this. The orders for Martian Manhunters are crazy. Possibly might not hold it, but the initially successful Martian Manhunter series. So there's a lot of stuff going on with this Absolute line, which sounded nutty. Sounded, and they haven't even gotten to the story, the full story on Dark Side that they're planning. So it looks like this rollout might, and it's even though they did the first three, they're rolling out some more characters. I kind of felt they should stop, but it sounds like the orders are up, so maybe keep going. And I don't know, was it Jeff Lemire? He's been around for a while, but it feels like in like DC from the '80s, like Flash kind of was the title with the kind of next guy. So like you had Mike Baron, who was just selling like hot. He actually I think went to Punisher first. I'm not sure. I think he went to Punisher before Flash. It might be the same time, but he was kind of the guy for the time. And then at some point it was Bill Lobes, who was kind of the guy for the time. And then the next, you had who was it, Mark Wade, who was like the really the guy. And then he actually took that and went to a bunch of other things post that and became the name he is now. Then Jeff Johns, who became like even bigger than him. So it's so many. Oh, and then you had people like Francis Manipool, who kind of gotten like went to bigger stuff after Flash. So Flash is kind of DC's book that kind of you can really make your name and make your name in DC. I'm not sure if it's going to hold true for the Absolute Flash, but hey, looks interesting.
I mean, if you take a look, I mean, the Absolute, they've been basically leading the top of the bestseller marks consistently. It's not to knock Marla, but unfortunately, their version of it, the Ultimates, is just not doing has not been doing as well. DC has consistently, to the point now, as you see in the chat, you see that they have Batman is up to his sixth printing right now with a whole new cover. If you take a look at it,
In
you
the
also have,
chat,
yeah, if you look in the chat. And you also have, and Wonder Woman is getting a fifth printing. Superman is getting a fourth printing. I mean, it's
wow.
pretty surprising that it's just continually going. The strength of this particular. Woman is a real surprise. Probably that they've done as well as they've done. I mean,
A lot of fun. I've been liking the one. Oh, this is Dan Mora cover. Wow.
covers. Yeah, I mean, if you look down further, there you see other covers too. It's just by other artists.
All right, I'll keep going.
And it sells. The Batman covers have just been flying off the shelves. I mean, no matter what. I'm like, how many times are they going to put a new variant or multiple variants, and they still go? And that's what I was talking to Cal about. I don't know if he was following it, but they're selling, and I'm like, it just like, yo, how many more times? You know, because clearly they're not reading the book.
But what's the point that you're making? You're making that they keep reprinting it, it keeps selling.
The point I'm making is that it's successful. If people will continue to buy based off the covers, because they read the book once, you don't need to keep on buying covers.
Those are two different points, though. If you're saying that, hey, look, people can't get enough of it, they keep reprinting it and keep selling out, that's one thing. I mean, if that's the case, then I could say the same thing about Transformers over on Image, because these guys are up to like what reprint for issue number 1, like 12, like the 12th reprint or something.
Void Rivals too. Void Rivals has been doing pretty strong.
So that's a good. I mean, that's definitely a good indicator that you have an audience that can't get that once. But then again, when it comes to the multiple printings, I think after a certain period, the audience has it, and then you're selling to other. After a while, you're selling to completists.
Interesting. So at this stage, what do you think they're selling to completists or they're selling it to the audience?
No, I think at this point you still. I mean, they're only into the 5th printing.
6th.
No, not for all of them. Some of them are 5th printing, some of them 4th printing. Not everybody's at 6th printing. I think Batman is at its 6th. Wonder Woman's at its 5th, and I don't think Superman's at a 5th printing for anything. At least the last time I checked.
Yeah, it says 4th. It says 4th for Superman. Yeah.
Yeah. So right there, shows I would think that's a very good indicator of popularity, demand, etc. So I don't think until you get once you start getting like past 8. That's when it becomes more of a completist, because I do believe if it's sold out clear across the board, especially the cheap copy, the ones that are the ratio, you'll probably still be able to find those in that first printing wave. But then these ones are the cheaper ones, and they keep selling out because that initial wave wasn't there, missed it, or maybe you like the cover better, or maybe you slept on it, you didn't want to get it when it first came out, and by the time you do wake up, it's at its 4th printing. Those type of things I think come into play. Then once you get past, definitely once you get past the 8th printing, that's a completist strike right there.
What about you, Petey? What's your take on that?
I know nothing about once it sells out, you get another printing. That's all I know about it. And it used to be the second printing was like a kiss of death, and now from what Cal says, the second printing can be rarer than the first printing.
It usually is. Usually, the way that it used to. I mean, this was, I think, the only second printing that I know of that was almost as equal with the first might have been like with the G.I. Joe issues. Mm-hmm. But for the most part, if the first printing sells out at, let's say, 100,000 copies, they're not going to print 100,000 copies of the second printing. They might do 25, maybe. But because they're going to believe the majority of the people who want this book got it. So it's going to be less. It's going to be less in number. Then they started doing things to jazz up the second printings, where they would give you a variant cover, so this had some differentiation between the two, okay, or a different color scheme. But once the guys realized that, hey, we're supposed to be collecting the rarest copy of this book, right? Well, the 3rd printing is the rarest copy of this book. That's why if you have a 3rd printing newsstand copy of Superman 75, Death of Superman, that retails a lot higher than the first printing.
Well, hey, I mean, is there anything else? If not, then I'm closing it out. So everybody, if you like what you hear, give us a thumbs up, comment, subscribe. Spinner Rack.
Out.
We are exiting.
This definitely flies into the covers selling the comics, like we were talking before.